Hello, everyone. Good morning to everybody in the US. Good evening for everybody in India. Welcome to the Stotra Bodha series talk number 29. So today our talk is on Shyamaladandakam of Kalidasa, importance and significance. And we're very happy to invite Mrs. Sandhya Gali. She's a software engineer, NVA student in Atlanta, and she's going to be the featured speaker for today. So we'll start with the Veda Kusumanjali. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanubhihi Yasema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Ruddhashravah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarkshyo arishthanemihi Swasti no Bruhaspatir Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamuduchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. So now I request Srimati Veena Ramesh to please do the Sangeetanjali. Madam, can you unmute, please? Unmute, please.
Okay. Shrungapurādīśvarī Shārade Shubhamangale Sarvābhishtaprade. Shrungapurādīśvarī Shārade Shubhamangale Sarvābhishtaprade. Shrungapurādīśvarī Shārade Shārade Shārade. Shankara Sannute Shri Padmajarane. Shankara Sannute Shri Padmajarane. Sakala Kala Visharde Varade. Salehem Mate Samagana Priye. Shrungapurādīśvarī Shārade Shubhamangale Sarvābhishtaprade. Shrungapurādīśvarī Shārade Shārade Shārade. Karuni Samashruti Gatigala Mate Kamaniya Sapta Svarasu Pujite. Karuni Samashruti Gatigala Mate Kamaniya Sapta Svarasu Pujite. Samagana Kala Swarupini Kamitadaini Kalanjanani. Shrungapur आदिश्वरी शारदे शुभमङ्गले सर्वाभीष्टप्रदे शृङ्गपुराधीश्वरी शारदे शारदे शारदे. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now I'll play the other invocation song. One second.
नमस्ते गुरुजी. कालिदास विरचित श्यामलादण्डकम्. माणिक्यवीणामुपलालयन्ती मदालसां मञ्जुळवाग्मिलासा माहेन्द्रनीलद्युतिकोमलाङ्गी मातङ्गकन्या मनसा स्मरामि. चतुर्भुजे चन्द्रकलावतंसे कुचोन्नते कुङ्कुमरागशोणे पुण्ड्रेक्षुपाशाङ्कुश पुष्पबाणहस्ते नमस्ते जगदेकमातः. माता मरकतश्याम मातङ्गी मदशालिनी कुर्यात् कटाक्षं कल्याणि कदम्बवनवासिनी. जय मातङ्गतनये जय नीलोत्पलद्युते जय सङ्गीतरसिके जय लीलाशुकप्रिये. जय जननी सुधा समुद्रान्तहृद्यन्मणि द्वीपसंरूढबिल्वाटवि मध्यकल्पद्रुमा कल्पकादम्बकान्तारवासप्रिये कृत्तिवासप्रिये सर्वलोकप्रिये. सादरारब्धसङ्गीतसम्भवना सम्भ्रमलोलनी प्रस्रगाबद्ध चूली सनाथत्रिके सानुमत्पुत्रिके शेखरीभूतशीतांशु रेखा मयूखावलीबद्ध सुस्निग्धलीलाकश्रेणी शृङ्गारिते लोकसम्भाविते कामलीलाधनुस्सन्नभ भ्रूलता पुष्पसन्दोहसन्देह कृल्लोचने वाक्सुधाचे सेचने चारुघोराचना पङ्कके लीललामाभिरामे सुरामे रमे प्रह्लसद्बालिका मौक्तिका श्रेणिका चन्द्रिका मण्डलोद्भासि लावण्य गण्डस्थला न्यस्तकस्तूरिका पत्ररेखा समुद्भूत सौरभ्य सम्भ्रान्त भृङ्गाङ्गना गीतसान्द्री भवान् मन्द्रतन्त्रीस्वरे सुस्वरे भास्वरे वल्लकी वादन प्रक्रियालोला तालीदलाबद्धताटङ्कभूषा विशाषेन्विते सिद्धसंवानिते दिव्यहालामदोद्वेलहेलाल सच्चक्षुरान्दोलना श्रीसमाक्षिप्तकर्णैकनीलोत्पले निर्मले श्यामले पूरितशेषलोकाभिवाञ्छाफले श्रीफले सर्वसम्पत्करे पद्मभास्वत्करे खण्डोत्करे ज्ञानमुद्राकरे श्रीकरे कुन्दपुष्पद्युतिस्निग्धदन्तावले निर्मलालोलकल्लोलसम्मेलनस्मेर शोणाधरे चारुवीणाधरे पक्वबिम्बाधरे सर्वतीर्थात्मिके सर्वमन्त्रात्मिके सर्वतन्त्रात्मिके सर्वयन्त्रात्मिके सर्वपीठात्मिके सर्वतत्त्वात्मिके सर्वशक्त्यात्मिके सर्वविद्यात्मिके सर्वयोगात्मिके सर्वनादात्मिके सर्वशब्दात्मिके सर्वविश्वात्मिके सर्वदीक्षात्मिके सर्वात्मिके सर्वगे पाहि मां पाहि मां पाहि मां देवी तुभ्यं नमो देवी तुभ्यं नमो देवी तुभ्यं नमो देवी तुभ्यं नमः थैंक यू गुरुजी
So we have for Deepavali a very nice program, and Shivalingaya that also has joined. Sudhana, do you want to introduce the speaker, or do we?
Yeah. So today is Deepavali Amavasya, a most significant day to all of us. And we have started in our group the Shyamaladandakam course, and that is keep going on every Tuesday and Thursday our meeting. And today there is a day when we remember and try to share some thoughts on Shyamalamba Devi, and also the Shyamaladandakam written by Kalidasa spontaneously. It's an outburst of emotion and bhakti, and all that is there in that. So you could see the spirit and flow in the Shyamaladandakam, which is just recited by our MB Sudha, another Veda Kendra student from Bengaluru, and she has correctly split and given us a good idea about how the communication could be possible in that. So the Shyamalamba, who is the Shyamalamba? We are all familiar with the Lalitamba, Durgamba, and so on. But the Shyamala is the most important deity, and she is the minister, Mantrini of Lalita Parabhattarika, and she is the right hand for Devi. And on the other hand, you have got also as a left hand support the commander-in-chief of the army of Lalita Parameswari is Varahi Devi. So Varahi and Shyamalamba both are very important supporters and followers and helpers to Parameswari, although both of them are not different. She only took those two forms and tried to provide peace in the world and also make a Dushta Samhara, more so the Sumbhani Sumbhasura, Mahishasura, Raktabija, and Chandamunda, and so on. So she has taken so many forms and saw that the gods are given relief, not fighting with the Rakshasas, because they got defeated a number of times by them, and they lost their positions. At that juncture, then Shyamalamba has taken. In Lalita Sahasranamam, there are three expressions where Mantrini Shyamalamba is being praised. before I talk much, I just want to give you the history. Actually, in Durga Saptasati, Markandeya Purana, where we come across these 13 chapters by Markandeya Maharshi, and also a dialogue between Suratha and Sumedha and other, and Samadhi and all people. And there, when she is fighting, Durga Parameswari fighting with the Sumbari Rakshasas, in the 7th chapter, she takes up the form of a Shyamalamba. And the Dhyana Slokam in the 7th chapter of Durga Sapsati runs like that. Then she is actually, she is all in all. And moreover, she's a Sarvavidya Swarupini, and also Gnanatmika, Gnana Swarupini, and she is holding Gnanasaratmakam Pustakam Bibhrati. She is holding. So, if at all we want to have a Gnanam, we have got to approach Shyamalamba, and that Shyamala is Matanga Maharshi's daughter. And that's again an episode where how she could accept to be the Matanga Maharshi's daughter, something like Ganga River, Ganga Amma. See, Janhu Maharishi held the entire Ganga and tried to subdue the Garvam, the pride of Ganga, because actually Ganga Bhavani wanted to sweep away the Janhu Maharshi's ashrama and everything there. But Janhu Maharshi knew that she is Avalepa, she is having a lot of that. So again, he stopped her, and Dasara Bhagiratha requested later on condition that she will be also called as Janhavi, and with that name, and then only will release. So as a daughter of Janhu Maharshi, here also as a daughter of Matanga Maharshi. So some parallels are there. How Devi have got to take a new names. And so here, Matangi does not mean that she belongs to some other caste. Or gods don't have a caste, color, creed, and country and all that. They're all universal. Now I am just reciting the Dhyana Slokam of the 7th chapter, how our Markandeya Maharshi is trying to praise and picturize Matangi in his vision. Actually, all Dhyana Slokas are visions, how the respective gurus or rishis have visualized Devi. Actually, Devi is only a Tejorasi, but she takes the form of a woman. And Sa eva Stri Bhutva, then all gods come and empower. That's how the story in Durga Saptati begins. Now, the sloka is like this. Dhyana sloka. Dhyayom dhyayeyam ratnapithe sukakalapatitam srundvatim Shyamalangim Nyastaikangrim saroje Shashishakaladharam Vallakim Vadayantim Kalharabadhamalam Niyamita Vilasat Cholikam Raktavastram Matangim Shankapatram Madhura Madhumadam Chitrakodbhasi Bhalam. So here, this is the picture that she is peacefully resting on a simhasanam, keeping her foot on a footstool, like Lalita Parameswari represented in the, Sobha, the Saundara Lahari, so Devi rested in 25th sloka, footstool, and she is just relaxing because she helped enough to see that all the Rakshasamhara, Dushtaduras, they're all removed, and now there is Shanti about her. So, Matangim Shankapatram Madhura Madhumadam Chitrakodbhasita Bhalam. So our Bhala Bhaga, the forehead, is really wonderful because there is a Agni, Netra, Agni is there, and so much light and brilliance is there. In Shyamaladandakam, you will see the description about the Bhala Bhaga of Devi by Kalidasa, and Madhura Madhumadam. She is fond of the wine and drinking, and she always has the Madhupatra, Panapatra in her hand. But as a contrast, she is also having a Shankha, the conch, a opposite of it, and she's a Matangi, and that kind of Parameswari Dhyayeyam. So I am going to meditate. That is how the Markandeya Maharshi gives us the picture of Shyamalamba. Now, what is the picture of Shyamalamba in the words of Kalidasa? Our keynote speaker, Srimati Sandhya Gali, she is there with us, and she is the instrument for getting the Shyamaladandakam kept going on. It is a continuous process. So many episodes have gone through now, but we have not yet completed, because the ultimate stages of that, identifications of Devi, because Shyamalamba is not a dark complexioned Devi, but she has many, many things imbibed in her personality, which Kalidasa alone see. And moreover, Kalidasa became a great, great scholar, a Vidwan, unmatchable. Even today, that Kalidasa, Kanishtika Adhishthata Kalidasa. So among kavis, the people wanted to count Pura Kavinam Ganana Prasange Kanishtika Adhishthata Kalidasa. Atrapi Tattulya Kavera Bhavat Anamika Sarthavati Babhuva. This is called Kanishtika, this is called Anamika. See, Anamika means name free, nameless. So this Anamika became really Sarthaka, because next to Kalidasa, to keep anybody in the world, during and after the times of Kalidasa, nobody is there. So something like Rabindranath Tagore, who could not get another Nobel Prize in Literature to India, he is only one, though he is the 14th child of his parents. So some such blessing, unique, will be there for people born upon the land. So Kalidasa is one great unmatchable intelligentsia, and from his pen, the Shyamaladandakam has come out. And this is, and also in our Stotra Bodha literature, we are trying to collect all kinds of bodhas. I mean, kinds of types of stotras. We have got Ashtakas, then the Ashtakas and Avalis, Namavalis, and so on. But this is a Dandaka Stotra. So taking cue from this Shyamaladandakam, for the first time that Kalidasa has introduced, Dandakam is absolute surrendering and Sastanga Namaskaram to Parameswari's feet, because in Saundarlahari it is said, Tavahi Charanaveva Saranao. So Shankaracharya said, there is no other option except her charanas for our Sharanam. In that manner also, here you see that Padukas, Andana, and Kalidasa, he was able to see different statures and postures, and also vision of Devi, because Devi is not alone. In however for many forums, she wanted to inspire Kalidasa or us all, because that is there on handy to us, and we are inspired. And more important is, she is a very, very convenient, comfortable, accessible, kind goddess, providing us Ananta Vijnanam, Adhyatma Vidya, and also emancipation. So with these few words, not talking much, I'll request Sandhya, staying in Atlanta, since Georgia State in USA. She is, though she is indifferent, I don't know anything, but look at her. Now the flow goes up, because she's Matangi, Shamalamba, that is being working in her mind. So we request her, and we just get some ideas from her. Thank you very much. Now, Sandhya.
Namaste, Uncle. Namaste, everyone. I don't know if I am the right person to talk about Matangi Ammavaru, but I'm just gonna say a few things, whatever I have learned so far. Uncle keeps saying that I should talk here, but I don't know anything about this at all. So I'm very new to these, to these shlokas and all, because I used to just keep them in the house, and then, I never used to recite them properly because I don't know how to do it. And these shlokas are so strong and so powerful. I didn't want to, I just put it in my head. So a couple of years ago, I've learned this Ashtadhati Stotram by Kalidasa. And actually, I was so shocked, like, a person like Kalidasa, meaning I've seen Kalidasa movie, I don't know anything about him. And I didn't even know that he wrote this poetry in for Amma. And, I kept reciting it. I wanted to understand, I want to learn it so bad. This is like 5 years ago during COVID time or something like that. And I kept reciting it, and then I kept looking for in the Google, who's this Kalidasa and all. But you know what? Seriously, I didn't find anything about him. And recently, I learned that he is somebody we don't know who his parents were. We don't know who who is he related to. It's just like, we don't even know his name. He's married to a Vidyavati. I'm just using a name, Vidyavati, who knows Vidya so well. And she wanted to get married to a Vidyavan, again, another scholar. But end of the day, she marries a person who's so dumb that all he does is just, a task rabbit. Like, all he does is just, whatever somebody tells him to do for money, he'll do it. That's all it is. So dumb he is. And if somebody tells him to cut this wood, and he will sit on it, and then, this scenario, I actually got that image from that movie. But we know that movies or commercials didn't tell anything about it. So I wanted to learn more, and I put the movie on, and then after 5 minutes I turned it off, because that's not what I wanted to know. Anyways, so the reason I'm telling you this story is because, how naive and innocent and a person who has nothing to do with this world, all he knows is just perform the task given by somebody to him. And he gets married to a scholar, and then that lady, the wife, tells him, you know what, it's okay now, my whole life is gone. The only choice you and I have is, you go to this temple where I every day go sit there until Amma opens the door, and ask her to give the knowledge, and then you come back to me. Otherwise, don't ever come back to me. And this guy, since he is a task rabbit, he goes to the temple, he sits there, meaning he just doesn't sit there, he just keeps on pestering her. Amma, open the door. Amma, open the door. Amma, open the door. Like, and then I heard that temple is a Kali Mata temple. So after so many, like, he keeps surrendering. I mean, that the only thing he knows is surrender himself. So that actually is such a beautiful quality of a student, or anybody, that as soon as he surrenders, Amma just opens the door, and instead of showing him as a Kali form, she shows Shyamala form to him, just because, all he wants was knowledge, not anything else, right? So the Kali Mata temple, and the same thing, I was just reading one chapter last night, and I'm like, what, really? And then when uncle was teaching Durga Saptashati, we were reading it, learning it and all. But yesterday when I was reading it, I saw Chandamunda Ibatha, Shyamala Devi comes in, and then she turns into Kali form to kill them. So the same thing happens in Kalidasa's story. So she comes out, and then she gives him all of this, and then he, as uncle mentioned, it's like it's the emotional blast. He doesn't know what he's saying. All he sees is, her form, the way she is, the way he writes this Shyamaladandakam is like, it's nothing to. It's impossible for anybody to write, because he has no clue. He has no knowledge of what it is, and then he writes it in the form, like the way the verses are written, and the way he puts the meaning to it, like he covers the entire world of all gods into it, like all Ammavarus in it, like for example, he says, he, I mean, he just, he writes about, not writes, but he talks about how beautiful Amma is, how her hair is, how her nose ring is, how her lalatam is, how everything is like he mentions, he describes every part of her body and the way he sees it. And the person who has nothing to do with anything, and he's talking like this, like you can feel Ammavaru's blessings on a person who surrenders herself or himself, and then she gives him all of those as though she's just speaking from his mouth, right? So and all the verses he talks about, like, how she lives, and he doesn't even know where she lives, but he talks about where she lives. She lives she's so connected with the nature. She's so connected with the bees coming on her face, thinking that her eyes are like flowers. Her the way she wears that ornaments and all, everything is like, so beautifully described. And then it looks as though, you're literally seeing her in front of your eyes. And then and the way she recites this, she makes him recite this in front of her. It's like your mind doesn't go anywhere. It just stays right there. It's like one after another, the way he talks about Lalatam, and then he goes to her eyes, and then he goes to her nose ring, and then he goes to her lips, and then Dantavali, and then the way she's eating the tambulam and all, and then the neck, which looks like a conch, and then her next part, like the where she gives milk to the whole world, like, how they are so heavy, she bends forward, to be available to the people, who are reaching out to her. And then her the sitting position, like how she sits, how she's holding the veena, and then how the veena stays there, and then how she's performing veena, and then all of these things. And then the people around her are just praying, Yogi Bhi Pujite. Everybody around her are all praising her, and all of those things, like, he's seeing all of this in front of him. When she plays veena, it looks as it is so calming and so beautiful. Everybody is just spellbound. And then the nadam made by those bees around her face, because thinking that her eyes are like flowers for them, and she has some beautiful decorations on her cheek. They thought that all of these are this is part of nature. The bees are around all her, making beautiful sounds again. So all of these descriptions just makes you get connected with her, and the way your mind doesn't get out. And even if you don't know the meaning of each of these verses, you want to learn, because it is so beautifully written. It is so beautifully opening up your mind, like, okay, is it really Amma like this, and blah blah blah, right? And then again, I was also having a question, like, why would anybody describe a woman like this, right? So again, I learned this by by asking questions, by uncle also tells me in a very different form. So when you think about it, it's like what I understood is how every one of us wants to look the best of us. So every time you're putting bottu on your face, it's like learning this. I'm like, oh, Ammavaru also put the bottu like this. And one of I was actually looking at this Shyamaladandakam, and there was one place, like, everybody talked about her bottu. It's so beautiful. It's in all red color, and the way she put it in there, and then the ornaments around the bottu is like, there is a significance for that here also in the Shyamaladandakam. And the way when you as a woman put that, adorn that bottu on your face, like you're thinking about Ammavaru, okay, this is how she does it. And, I want to get ready just like Ammavaru, just like, I mean, when I put Kartuka, I just do it exactly like her. And then when I wear a sari, I want to wear those colors, what she wore, except something like that. It's like you are, I mean, you're just decorating yourself as you're decorating Ammavaru. And this gives you immense pleasure. Like, okay, you know what? This is how your nails are supposed to look like, all radiant and all. And what can you do about it is, not just to go to manicure and all, but, thinking about those things in your head gives you more energy, more beautify. It just takes you to a level, like the more you enact about anybody, you become like her. So, with that, the Ammavaru, just you instill yourself into that Ammavaru's world, and then slowly you don't have to become her, but you become, at least you become eligible to go as a flower under her feet. So I love this idea of it, of Ammavaru, that she's there with you all the time. And then coming back to Dandakam again, I mean, every day I read this, I feel all of these things. That's why I wanted to say all of these things to you guys too, because this is where my heart just stops and I'm constantly thinking about it. And then when I come back to Kalidasa Dandakam again, and then he talks about, he actually mentions about everybody, all Dasha Ammavarus, Lalita Ammavaru, Varahi Ammavaru. Even though he doesn't know the names, is like, he says Sarvarthikes, Vedatmikes, Shabdatmik. I mean, he has taken us to every Ammavarus in the world, every god in the world. He's in one place, he says, Amma, you're the one who gave Gnanam to Krishna, Sri Krishna's. I'm like, what? And then you go read again about it. So she's the one, she's a Gnanam. So, right? So she's a knowledge and Gnanam. So she's the one who gives Sri Krishna that thought process, that, that how he has to talk and all, right? So all of this is given by her. So that means she's the moolam of the entire world. And then this makes him, I think this makes the whole Shyamaladandakam so powerful that, if you're reading this, you're actually praising every god whom you know, every Ammavaru whom you know, and if you don't know also. And then every verse, whatever is written here, it actually opens up to another world of imaginary beauty. And also there is a conceptualized thought process around it, like, why are we talking about, what is Amma telling you? How are you supposed to get into, from, how she's connecting us to the nature, and how the nature is connecting back to her. So end of the day, we all wanna we will end up in nature, and then how the nature takes us back to Ammavaru, and Ammavaru will decide, okay, do you need another janmam for us, or we should stay with her as a parrot next to her, listening to her, or just talking about her, our praises for her, and I don't know what else I can talk, Uncle. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma. Now I see you in your reflection and understanding of the Syamalamba and Dandakam, which has got long flowing compounds. And splitting also is a good problem, and sensibly, and you have been able to make out whatever is necessary. Now I request Shaivalini to put forth her ideas or thinking on Kalidasa, because Kalidasa is a Sanskrit poet, but he is a national poet, world poet. So from his pen, this flow has come out at first. So I request Shanta Shaivalini, are you there, Amma?
Yes, sir.
Please.
हरि ओम शुभ सायं तथा शुभ प्रातः सर्वेभ्यो दीपावली पर्वस्य शुभाशयाः. Just like Kalidasa, how he gave light in the field of literature, similarly, this Deepavali also give enlighten our mind with colorful lights. Yes, Madam Sandhya Gali spoke very well. She's a good orator. Anyway, before that, Prabhakar sir referred about Kalidasa, about his life, like Pura Kavinam Ganana Prasange Kanishthita Dhisthita Kalidasa Adhyapi Tatulya Kavera Bhava Anamika Sarthvati Babhuvai. And Madam Sandhya told about Kalidasa's wife Vidyavati. And here I want to refer one point here. So when she understood his ignorance, she asked her husband, Asti Kashchit Vak Visheshaha. Do you have any speciality to your words? So in future, after getting the blessings of Goddess Kali or Shyamala, he composed the work with the beginning Asti Astutarasyam Vishirevatatma Himalayo Nama Nagadhiraja. So in that way, he started Kumara Sambhava. Then Kashchit Kanta Virahagurna Swadhikarat Pramattaha Prapena Stangamita Mahino. In that way, he started Meghaduta and also Vagartha Viva Samprupto Vagartha Pratipatti Jagadath Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwar. So with that shloka, he started the Ghomsha. And with that, Madam told about Shyamala Devi, about her, how she was decorated. And color is not important. That knowledge, how she gave and how she is holding the conch in her hand. So holding the veena and how she performed. Yogite Pujite. So she gave in that way reference also. And Shabdatmik. So she is not only a Shabda speech, she is a knowledge, she is everything in that way. She pervaded the whole universe that she told, and with that reference of Lord Krishna. And here, first the Dhyana Shloka will say the chant of meditation. On the other hand, in this Manikya Veena Mukalayanti and also in the Chaturbhuje Chandrakalavattam say, you can see the resemblance between Matanga and also Goddess Saraswati. So we know that all the goddesses like Lakshmi, Saraswati, Durga are of the same. That we can see in Durga Saptashati also. So she referred that also. And Viniyogaha will say next, Mata Marakadashyama Matangi Madashalini Kuryat Kadaksham Kalyani Kadamba Vanavasi. She gave the reference here. Viniyoga. So there are so many definitions in this. We need Upasarga Dvena Vijidhatena Dhatuna Etat Padat Nishpattihi Vipaktum Shakit. So the word etymology has come in that way. Vini Upasarga Yujadhat. Yuju by that yoga. Yujyate iti yoga will say. So in the yoga, when we say Patanjali Yoga Shastra, we can see that. It means, generally it means separation or detachment, leaving or giving up, etc. And appointment means, that also it gives the meaning, appointing the mind in the god or a goddess. And in Hinduism, the method of yoga is a combination of yoga and Ashtanga yoga. It is a style of Hatha yoga. And Mimamsa school says yoga refers to injunction of application. It is one of the 4 classification of Vidhi, injunction. And in Vyakarana it says employment separately of different persons or this for different purposes. Aheti viniyoge cha aham viniyoge viniyogo nama dvayoho purushayor ekasmin karmani ekasya purushasya sambandhaha anyasmin karmani aparasya. So in that way it gives the meaning. On the other hand, in different dictionaries also will get a different meaning. When you go for Indian history and geography, there Viniyoga means an employment or an expenditure. And in Pali, that is in a Pali language, the dictionary says that Viniyoga means possession, application. In Marathi dictionary, it says appointment or application or appropriation or to a duty, it says. In Sanskrit dictionary, it says the separation or a detachment. Babhuva vidiyogagnaha sadhaniyeshu vastushu. In that way, you get the reference in the Veda also. On the other hand, pranayame viniyogaha anenedam tu kartavyam viniyogaha prakirtitaha arsha chandascha daivatyam viniyogas tathaiva. So in that way, we can get the reference. And also in Kumara Sambhava, Viniyoga Prasadahi Kinkaraha Prabhavishnush. These are the some references regarding this Viniyoga. When we say Viniyoga, we can see that it is a detachment towards the world, we can say attachment to the god or a goddess. That is the meaning. Afterwards, Stuti. Stuti is in Veda, it is praising it is a praise of a god or a goddess composed by the devotees to please him. That is what we call it. That is hymn of praise, we say. And Dandaka, we say. Dandaka, it is a chandas, we will say. More than 26 letters are there. We call it as a chandas. And here, Jaya Matangatane, Jaya Nilotpaladhyute, Jaya Sangeeta Rasike, Jaya Leela Shukapriye. So these are the words. When how Kalidasa saw that goddess at that moment, so in that way he is going to describe all that. And here in Dandaka, now we'll say that he Kadamba Kantara Vasapriye will say. The word Kadamba he uses, it is a Kadamba Vriksha, will say. Generally, it is a very tall, almost 45 meters height it will grow, and it is a thick forest. The goddess, that is the place of Lord Shiva also. Therefore, they'll say Kadamba gives a very important place in this. On the other hand, Kadamba tree connects with Lord Krishna also. Even Madam gave a reference of this about Krishna. And Radha and Krishna used to love to play under the shade of the hospitable and sweet scented Kadamba. Krishna used to perform that Rasa Leela, fascinating the flute under this tree in his young age. Even in Bhagavata Purana also, we'll get this reference. And when we go for this Kadamba, so in most of the works we can see, especially the Bhakti Rasa, wherever we can see, there we can get the reference of Kadamba. The Kadamba flower will be in white and light yellow color, they say. By taste, it is very sweet and sour. And it is used for many of the Ayurveda medicines, like it gives a medicine for diabetes, cancer, or liver, in protecting liver, fungal infections, cholesterol, parasitic infections. And for a digestive system also, they will use the flower, stem, everything. So in that way, the Kadamba tree is very, very important in this. So here, Kadamba Vanavasi, generally the goddesses, and also it is a place of Shiva also. They live in the forest. And though this Dandaka, we say it is the stotra or it is a poetry, but it is in the form of a prose only. There is a continuity in that. So no gap the words, and we can't say that it is in a particular one chandasa. The reason is it goes on continuously like a prose, and it is like a tongue twist also. When you go for that shloka here, That is Prolasadhani Kamautika Shrenika Chandrika Mandalodbhasi Lavanya Gandasthalanya Kasturika Patra Rekha Samudbhuta Saurabhya Sambhranta Bhunganga Nagita Sandri Bhavan Mandra Tantri Sware Susware Bhasware. So it is like a tongue twist, and also we can see the repetition of the letters. That is what we say Anuprasa, Alankara also we can follow in this. And when you go for that, throat, it is like that only, very attractive, and also beautiful here. When you go for this, Jaya Jaya Janani Sudha Samudraanta Rudyan Mani Deepa Samrudha Bilvatavi Madhya Kalpadruma Kalpa Kadamba Kantara Vasapriye Kriti Vasapriye Sarvaloka Priye. So in that, so the goddess, she's mother is venerated by the whole world, the lover of Lord Shiva, who himself resides in the orchards of Kadamba trees, say. And it is she is decorated with greenish blue stone. In that way they say. So it is very attractive. And also in Raghuvamsha, some of the references we can see. So here the Sindhura Shoniya Manendra Matanga Hastargale Vaibhavanargale Shamale will say here Mahadevi, the goddess of dark blue complexion of unexplainable glory, the glowing beauty of her thighs or appears as rays of blooming fresh Kimshika flower. All this outshines the beauty of Airavata's trunk quills. Generally, they have compared to this that is sugar cane. But here, in some places, the poet will describes the thigh of the goddesses for comparing to this Airavata's trunk. Even in Raghuvamsha also, when they are describing the beauty of princess, he gives the reference of this trunk, that is Indra's elephant, Airavata's reference. So that way, the whole thing goes so beautifully. And also when you go for the last part of it, so it is a very small work. Even then, it is very attractive. They will say, Sarva Tirthatmike, Sarva Mantratmike, Sarva Yantratmike, Sarva Tantratmike, Sarva Chakratmike, Sarva Shakyatmike, Sarva Pithatmike, Sarva Vedatmike. So in that way it goes, she is the everything, she is the mantra, she is tantra, she is the Shakti, she is the yoga, she is the Gita, Shabda, Varga, everything is Goddess Shamla. Jaganmatrike Pahima, 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 Devi Tubhyam, Namo Namaha. So the goddess is everything and she is the one who protects everything. So whenever we pray this goddess, she will fulfill the desires of everything, and she gives wealth, knowledge. She brings everything to that person, whoever will pray this Shyamala Devi. On the other hand, Kalidasa, after referring all that, so we come to know that Kalidasa was such a simple person. That's what he praises. Even all his poets who came before, who prior to him, like Prathita Yeshasam, Bhasa Saumilla Kaviputrādīna, Prabandhan Atikramya, Katham Vartamana Kave, Kalidasasya Priyam, Parishadu Bahumanahai. So he praises Bhasa, Saumila, Kaviputra, who already got name and fame, how they will accept my works, the rest of scholars will accept it. So in that way, he shows his simplicity. On the other hand, Iha nivasati meru shekharakshma dharana Iha vinihita bharas tagaras saptachane idam mahipati bhogastambha vibhrajamanam dharnitalam ihaiva sthanam asmadvidhana. This is the beautiful shloka which was composed by Kalidasa when he became an ambassador and gone to the other country. So the king has wanted to insult this, and he removed all the seeds from that pole. At that time, Kalidasa observed all that, and he says that the whole Meru Parvata is decorated, is folded by this land, Bhuvi, Artha. In the same way, 7 Sagaras, the 7 oceans has spread their body on the Artha and reduced their weight. On the other hand, Adishesha is holding the Bhuvi, the earth on his head, and it got the value, Maulya. So in that case, this is the place for me to sit. In that way, saying so, he sat on the ground. By that, the king understood the simplicity of Kalidasa, and finally he gave a respect. He respected in all the ways and sent him back. So in that way, Kalidasa was a very simple person, and he is a Kavikula Guru. And when he saw that goddess, really he was very much thrilled by that. And whatever the forms he saw, the forms of goddess, he became curious and surprised everything. In that form, he described all that. That is, we can see in Shyamaladandakam. In each and every shloka, whatever we call it, we can see the beauty, and we can imagine that how poet expressed his love, his devotion towards goddess Shyamala in the Jaya Matangatane. In that way, we can see that. I think because this is a very small work, and only this is a bhakti pradhana, we can say. With this, I want to conclude my talks because each shloka, when it is a regular lecture, means we can take each and shloka and we can explain it. This is only a concluding part of it, so I don't want to take much time. So we can't do that like a lecture. So whatever minimum points I can, so I try to be that. I'm very much grateful to Sir Prabhakar, who gave a beautiful opportunity to speak a few words about Kalidasa. On the other hand, I thank each and everyone participated here, and also Madam, she spoke very well. Thank you one and all. Once again, wish you all very happy Deepavali. Namaste.
Thank you, Dr. Saivalini. You have put your thoughts on Kalidasa and Shyamaladandakam, no doubt, but still, Tubhyam Namo Devi, Tubhyam Namo Devi, Tubhyam Namaha. So when said like that, Namaskara is the ultimate yoga. And then she will take hold of it. And that not one time, Tubhyam Namo Devi, Tubhyam Namo Devi, Tubhyam Namaha, full stop. So thereby, the next consequence and other results are left to the discretion of Devi, and she is always very much kind and she will do it. And I'm happy you touched about Kalidasa's life also, and how he turned as a great scholar and ultimately got himself as a devotee of Kali. Kalidasa is almost servitude to Kalika Devi. And see, in Nagpur, we have got on Ramtek mountain, there is Gadakali temple is there. When my brother was working there in Nagpur, we had opportunity of going up the mountain and visit that Gadakali temple, where there is also a plate, a display of a plate saying that this is the place where Kalidasa's deity Kali blessed him. And so that kind of mark I could see it. And Gadakali, it is the Gadakali, of course, Amaramba and all that is one, but I don't know. Gadakali, I think Gada is Roga. Gada Kali means Roga Nivaraka. What is the Roga that we have got? All people means it is the Janma, Jara, Mrityu, Tapta, Jana, Visranti, Dayini, Swarupa. As you see in the Lalita Sahasranam, see, Tapta, we are all very much tortured by these three conditions: Jara, old age, Janma, and Marana. So, this kind of difficulty and calamity occurring to all people born in the world. Therefore, the Samalamba is a moksha devata also. And separately, though it is not said so, but she is Gadakali, something like Narayaniyam, where Narayana, in Narayaniyam, the poet also, Bhattatari constantly says, Gada Parihara, Gada Pahi, etc. The word Gada is a interesting term in Sanskrit, which will cover up even it. So also he says that, and so like that, we have that prayer. And Syamalamba today, Mahalakshmi day today, there are today being Amavas, Deepavali Amavasya, two people are being taken to for worship prominently, Mahalakshmi and Deepalakshmi. So already even Shanta Savalini is talking, we have heard the Deepavali cracker sound. In America, we don't have that sound at all. Absolute silent, only buildings, cars and roads and nature. But we have some kind of replica of that also when Shanta Savalini is speaking, and she is also a good scholar. She has made interesting points. But just today we are able to have some thoughts on Syamalamba and Shyamala Vidya and Shyamala Devi Upasana. And we have some good talks also by that Samavedam Sarma. Samavedam, yeah. So many people have spoken on Shyamaladandakam, but nobody is satisfied. As everybody has got his contribution. Now I have got here, we have all got here Rita Ji, she also is, her mind is working. What is this Shyamala? Wonderful. and moreover, she said, I never know Shyamala Devi, Shyamaladandakam, I never know. That is the first refusal for Rita Devi joining to our group from Atlanta. But now she has full thoughts because Shyamala herself sat in her head and said, yes, because Syamalamba, Varahi, Lalita Parabhattarika, and all gods. And moreover, the goddess Durga, in Raksha Stotram, she takes around 65 forms to protect the 65 important members of our body inside and outside. So Varahi, so how many, not only that, we have got all Saptamatrakas, and the Samalamba world is very, very wide. The horizon is very large. But still today, on this auspicious day, we have an opportunity to note some more features of Syamalamba. She will definitely see that our lifestyles will be really brighter from today onwards too. Thank you very much. Now I ask Rita Ji to share some thoughts and then.
Thank you, Prabhakar Garu. You are right. I had forgotten about, I have done Upasana of Matangi Devi and completely forgot. So when you asked me to speak about Shyamaladandakam, I became nervous. I thought I didn't know her. But she remembered me, I think, and that's why I'm here. A few years ago, I found a book by Dr. David Frawley, The 10 Goddesses. And I have been studying these, and now I've focused on, whatever Prabhakar Garu has been teaching us, Saundarya Lahiri, Chandi, and now I'm doing Upasana of Lalita Sahasranama for the Hindu temple. But so I'm very grateful to Mother and in the form of Prabhakar Garu for inviting me and reminding me that I am her devotee. Thank you so much. With respect to Matangi Devi, she is the daughter of sage Matanga has the color of dark blue lotus and sings and loves and goddess of speech. Of the 10 wisdom goddesses, there are 3 who are devoted to speech and learning: Tara, Bhairavi, and Matangi. So in Konkani, at least, Mata means opinion. So Matangi means thought. And so she is the goddess power which has entered into thought or the mind. She is the word as the embodiment of thought. She also, like Tara, who's goddess of learning and eloquence, and Bhairavi, who is goddess of Parashakti, Matangi is goddess of Vaikhari and Madhyama. But in her highest form, of course, she controls the mystical knowledge that we have. She is Guru. She is joyful. And she should be worshipped either through chanting a Sanskrit alphabet. She can be worshipped through reflecting on the meanings of the words that you have heard from Guru, such as today we heard a very eloquent speech by few words, no doubt, but her composition of the few words, Dr. Shanta Shaivalini, was amazing. It was just beautiful. And Sandhya Garu, thank you so much for sharing. So reflecting on the meanings of these words and chanting the Sanskrit alphabet, music and song are ways to worship Mata. But the highest form, of course, is to learn about Vedas. But even higher than that is to be silent. If you have to worship Mataji, you have to be silent. With that, I will conclude. Thank you for allowing me to participate in the worship of Mother on this auspicious occasion of Diwali. Thank you. Prabhakar Garu.
Thank you. Good. You put forth your thought upon Shyamalamba, Matangi, and Matangi Vidya, and so she herself sat back again, refreshing herself about the Shyamala's greatness. Now I just got reminded of when I was a postgrad student in Karnataka University. There was a professor of the philosophy department by name Shah. He started periodically one club by name Thinkers Club. So in Thinkers Club, people used to join, all professors used to join and share their thoughts and thinking upon certain topics and all that. So something like that, now it has happened. We have the Thinkers Club, a replica of that, keynote speaker being Sandhya and Shanta, Saivalni, and Rita and other people, and also Prasad is there. He will also share some thoughts on these things so that we understand the Shyamalamba is exclusively a different aspect of Lalita Parameswari. As you see, Lalita Parameswari is Ichudanda. She is holding, not anything, is only she is holding sugarcane. So sugarcane with its leaves at the top is one that is Lalita Parameswari represented. Ichu Kodanda Manditayai Namo Namaha. So Ichu Kodanda Mandita means Ichu has got many meanings. And the sugar cane juice is good. But you have got the sugar cane, there are the knots are there, unless not to knot. So when you progress somewhere, because yoga, Shanta told about the yoga and prayoga, etc. So you make some progress, knot is there. Don't stop. Again, remove that, go ahead. That's why Rudra Grandhi Vibhedini. Vishnu Granthi Vibhedini. So the Granthi Vibhedana, Granthi will be a small hole through which only that mystic power can penetrate and break it and go further to Kundalini and Sahasrara Saroja. So that is why we see that Lalita Parameswari's posture and form. And apart from all other descriptions of Lalita Parameswari, she is only Ikshukodanda. It is very, Lalitopasana is not easy. The Sri Vidyopasana is not easy. But many people, for other, not only for benefic results, even for malefic results also, Shyamalamba is, Matangi is being taken into count. Now you observe, both are Matas only, Sri Mata, Sri Maharajni, Srimat Simhasaneswari, and she is not left free with that power sculpture in her hand, sitting on Maha throne. Devakare Samudjata, she has to get back, and Siddhagnikunda Sambhuta. So she is put to work again, homework she is given. And when you talk about this Matangi, as Sandhya is emotionally talking, she's involved, so much involved that she's not, her speech is being hampered. So much thoughts are there because as you are feeling, we become silent. Something like Kalidasa or anybody, Mukam karoti vachalam or Pangum langayate girim. So this kind of extraordinary feats are possible and all that. So now this being, this Shyamalamba, I mean, or she is holding the Veena. See, Veena is the best of instrument of the musical instruments. So Kalidasa, Jagaraja says, Veena palukulu, Tena palukulu anta. So Veena palukulu, the sounds produced by the Veena are just like that of the honey words. How sweet is honey, so soft, sweet and inspiring will be Veena. So Veena Vadana Tattvajnaha. So any Vagyekara would have that kind of mellifluous producing the sound and understanding the sound's meaning. So we have got Lalita Parameswari Ichudanda and Matangi Veena Upalalayanti. See, Upalalayanti. That is, she has kept on her lap and so close and trying to play Veena, and she takes pleasure in talking to or making that Leela Sukha Priye, that Leela Sukha, that Sukha is Leela, making the parrot speak. And parrots are so sincere devotees, however you utter, so only they utter. They don't add anything. So that Leela Sukha is very much interesting. And therefore, one of the important bhaktas called himself as Leela Sukha. Therefore, we have got Leela Sukha, we have got Krishna Leela Tarangani, written by the Krishna Leela Sukha Kavi, and so on. So, your Stotra literature is so vast that there are hundreds of bhaktas observing the same Parameswari Adishakti Swarupani in variety of forms. When you come to Durga Parameswari, look at the weapons or instruments associated to these forms of the deity. And Durgama is holding the Trisula. Trisula Hastahara, Trisula Hasta. So she has got that. So whenever you want to represent Durga Parameswari, you put Trisula to her. And Matangi, Shyamalamba, Veena, and Lalita Parameswari, Ichudanda. So even the instruments that they are holding are also very much symbolic and significant, important. And again, you think of the Vahanas, the vehicles that are being ascribed by devotees to respective goddesses, I mean, forms of the goddess. So at one time she takes the lion, another time a tiger, and another time the swan. And what is the vehicle that she uses? Ashwarudha. She takes the horse, the most powerful animal. We talk about the horsepower and so on. So Ashwarudha Adhisthita. And moreover, not only she is a cavalry replica by herself, but she has got a large number of cavalry forces in her army. That's why Asvarudha Adhisthita Asvakoti Samavrata. So she has got so many armies. So when we just take up the entirety of the Shyamaladandakam, Lalita Sahasranamam, Durga Saptasiti, and such type of literature and Puranas, you observe in variety form, the variety Rakshasas are being punished. But all those Rakshasas who fought with Devi are great bhaktas. And therefore, in Mahishasura Mardini Stotram, or in the event of the 4th chapter, it is our Markandeya Maharshi says that it is not that Devi took away the life of Mahishasura, rather Mahishasura volunteered to give away his life to the feet of Devi, that the moksha will come to him. That's why normally Antaka, Yama is very fearful. So there it is Kupitant Kair Jivate Kupitantaka Darsanaina and Pranan Namocha Mahishaha. So that we have to observe. So he could not hold on to his life and fight with her more and more and more. But he simply became silent and allowed the Trisula of Devi to pierce into him symbolically also, and that is the end of the Mahishasura. So when we observe the Upasana goals to us, when you take to Matangi Upasana, the object is different, the results are different. And when you take to Lalita Upasana, it is really different because Sajja Prasadini Vishwatomukhi. And all goddesses are Sajja Prasadinis, but they are all round, like the Deepa Lakshmi. See, Deepa has no direction, as that we are worshipping. And now we are all using, so many people are using the waxed lamps, and all other lamps are in silver. But it is said that on this day, especially, those pramidas made out of the mud with oil or ghee, you should put a wick and put it. That is a Mahalakshmi Vruddhi. Not these electric lamps or these illuminations done. So in India, it is possible, but you have to probably go to India stores and get them. So whatever it is. So the Mrunmaya Patra, Mrunmaya Pramida, a wick, and then because this is the example that has been given to us, Vairagya Taila Sampurne, Bhaktivarti Samanvite, Gnapti Deepam Vilokayet is the Shankaracharya. This is Vairagya is the Tailam, is the oil, Varti is the Bhakti, the wick is the Bhakti, and Deepam is the Napti, awareness and moksha. So this is how we have been given the symbolic and mystical representations of these things. So Shyamaladandaka is also an important section or contribution by Kalidasa beginning. And Shaivalni has pointed out 27 letters. Though it is absolute prose, in prose there is no control. You can have the samasas to run to any length. Therefore, the Gadja Kavis are really tough. And that's why there is a statement, Gajjam Kavinam Nikasham Vadanti. So the touchstone for all poets of their poetry power is only when they write the Gadja Kavyas, not only the Padja Kavyas. Padja Kavyas are okay. So among the Gadja Kavyas, Kalidasa also has his chapter to speak about the terseness of the Gadja, especially when you want to make a stotra of it. Even we have got Shatakas of Sahitya, Surya Shatakam is there, Bhattabhana is there, and also Dandin is there. There are so many Gadja poets. Among such sequence of great number of poets, even this Kalidasa is one, who is a Gadakali Upasaka, and that's why he called Kalidasa. In the contemporary times also, Kali Upasakas are there. We have, Telugu literature and all that, Sanskrit and Telugu, that Tenali Ramakrishna, who was one of the Diggajas in the Krishna Devaraya court. So he also is one Kali Upasakas. And anyway, when we remember all these upasakas, and contemporarily, if I want to add one more point before I conclude, I happened to go to in Kakinada, meet one Kali Upasaka by name Addepalli Mankaya Shastri. He was live, and I went to him, spent about 2 hours long years back, and he has written large number of small booklets on Kali, Lalita, and so Lalita Sostarup and all that. So I could see him, how he looked like when he took to the Kali Upasana, and how the kind of language that they speak, and they are always in a different world, but still they are connected to the world. Something like our Sandhya telling that in Shyamaladandakam, Ammavaru is connected to the entire nature, and nature is connected to her. So they are both inseparable. That's point I like that, wonderful, because you cannot dispense with the nature whenever you think of something. So with these few points to add for the wonderful thinking club that we have today, where all of you are joining, and I just request Anjaneya Prasad also, is my son, who has been following all these things. I asked him to share some thoughts, and even that Sudha also beautifully recited the entire Shyamaladandakam, that we can understand it also. And again, we have that Veena Ramesh, from India. She is a student of Narayaniyam from India, and she is very sincere and going on to Narayaniyam. And so we have that kind of large number of devotees to various gods and their books and all that. This is really our Nada Veda Adhyayana Kendra horizon has really become wider and wider because of all of you. And I think Veda Purusha will thank you all that you have come up. Something like in Dasavatara Stotram, the poet says, Vedanuddharate, Jagannivanute, like that, Vedanuddharate. So we are all having the chance to make the Vedas being uplifted into the limelight of all minds in the world. Thank you. Now, Prasad.
Yeah, thank you, Rana. I just have to say that it's been very, very fun being in this session, especially when you talk about Kalidasa. I have very fond memories from my childhood Sanskrit classes, always enjoying, and today, this having all of you talk about, the beauty of Kalidasa's poetry, also the essence of his bhakti, and how we connect to Devi through his amazing poetry. I think this was a great session, and I really appreciate the talk by Mrs. Sandhya Gali, whose personal experience with the Stotram really short, right? And that is a very, very great blessing to have, and we're all also very blessed to have her share her blessing of Devi and how she is connected with the Stotram, and very nicely also put by Dr. Shanta Shaivalini, and also Rita gave very wonderful remarks to add to what Mrs. Sandhya had told in her talk, and Nana is always summing up everything so wonderfully. So thank you all for this wonderful session. I really enjoyed it. And
you thank Rita ji. She has made some time. Boldly she's there.
I told about Rita ji. She is also wonderful and always with so many new ideas and new thoughts and adding to the session. So I appreciate her contribution very much. Yes, Sandhya ji, have your hand raised up. Yes.
Any comment, Amma? Any final, having heard all this, please talk.
I just love to recite it, Uncle. That's all I want to do.
So very nice. So can we conclude? Shivalinga, can you do the ending prayer? I don't know if you're online.
ॐ कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरिये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। कृष्णाय यादवेन्द्राय ज्ञानमुद्राय योगिने नाथाय रुक्मिणीशाय नमो वेदान्तवेदिने। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। आपादमौलिपर्यन्तं गुरूणामाकृतिं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ति च मनोरथाः। यदक्षरं पदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव। नारायण नमोऽस्तुते। विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व पुरुषोत्तम। आभिर्गिर्भिर्यदतो न ओनमाप्यायय हरिवो वर्धमान। यथा स्तोत्रभ्यो मयि गोत्रारुजासि भो इष्टभाजो अदत्तेषाम ब्रह्म प्रवादि स्म तन्नो महासीत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहना भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तमा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। श्रीवासुदेवार्पणमस्तु। श्रीवेदपुरुषाशीर्वादोऽस्तु। ॐ तत्सत्।